Hi everyone, it's me, Marie Blue Angel, back with another game. This one titled Call Me Under, and all I know is that there's a mystery to be solved. It has fantasy elements, and it takes place in the deep underwater realm, in a place called Styx. Yeah. I had trouble recording this. I had some technical issues towards the beginning, so I have seen a little bit of the game, but not so much. So I'm just gonna proceed with recording again. Hopefully I don't run into the same technical issues. But yeah, let's just get started. Warning. This demo is rated M17+ for strong language, dark humor, use of substances, and eldritch horrors, etc., etc. Please take time to read this, should you need to know what you're getting yourself into.
The beginning was bathed in darkness. The beginning was darkness. Its form and its home, the most basic state of being. The inkwell from which flesh was shaped, minds were made, and dreams were born. We began in the shadows. They nourished us, caressed us, gave us life. But greedy hearts demanded more. Separation, independence, a self free from the roots, colors split from the inkwell, and a new perspective, a new meaning was born. And so began the tale of our creator's downfall. But I'm sure you know that already, right? How the skies formed their legions and drove the shadows to the bottom of the dark and terrible ocean. Such a simple fable. A great and uncomplicated way to explain the universe to young, impressionable minds. Tell me, do they recount this tale with your bedside lamp turned on, so you don't feel the fear creeping in? Do they make the monsters with their hands in that light, so you know that there's nothing in the darkness but evil? Have you ever felt just that tiny sliver of doubt that maybe they lied?
What an intro. I will say I really do love the intro. The voice acting is very good. And I think it's the perfect build up and introduction to this game and the world that we are entering. So yes, here is a character select. I get a choice of being the human or the Skia. And each one has a description. And just a heads up, I'm going to pick the human. But I'll give you a chance to look at the description for the Skia and go ahead and read it for yourself and pause the video and do that if you'd like. Just so if you are going to play this for yourself, you would know if you want to be the Skia or the human. But I know I want to be the human, so I'm just going to pick that. If I can go back, please. Will you let me go back? Oh no. Give me a second. Okay, I figured it out. I'll read the letter here on the left. Fresh blood from the surface. A few prior convictions, but nothing I can't work with. Reason for Annie acquiring them is unknown, but seemingly a decent decision on her part. My first impressions are good, but I'll refrain from forming any solid opinions until after we got it into the nasty shit. Here's hoping it works out better than the last time. Peace and Claire. Okay, the human. Having recently arrived from the surface, you find yourself thrust into the capable hands and employment of Penelope Sinclair. I wonder how that happened though, like you just run into Penelope. Editor of the Styx Journal, but most significantly, leader of Scott and Sinclair investigations. Your past is shady, but your convictions are nothing but a memory here in Styx. Call it a much-needed new beginning, if you will. A second chance to start somewhere fresh, where nobody knows your name. You have a job, a place to live, and a host of shit that's about to be thrown into your lap. Here's hoping your sea legs are steady, because life is about to get real choppy. Settling into a new city can be a real headache. Sign me up. Tell us your first name. It is Marie. Marie Angel. I'm playing around with my username here. Choose your pronouns. She, her. Yay. Okay. The incessant tap-tap-tap of the typewriter's mechanical keys beneath my fingertips is the only thing keeping me awake tonight. That and the stench of smoke and booze wafted from Penny's office. It's only 7. She'll have one hell of a hangover tomorrow. Also, let me... I'm going to turn on the volume because I think it might be too loud. Now it's too quiet. Okay. Hopefully that's okay. That and the stench of smokes and booze wafted from Penny's office. It's only 7. She'll have one hell of a hangover tomorrow. Again. I sigh and glare at the fresh sheet before me. I am only a sentence in, and it's already nonsense. I angrily yank at the roller and tap on, the arms whirling against the inky black ribbon. It's gonna be a late one. I sit back and stare at the words on the page. Words I've seen typed out by my many others' hands too many times to count in the short amount of time I've been here. Missing. Kidnapped. Presumed dead. Dismembered. I hear a low whistle and turn to find Penny staring at me, sticking her head around the door frame. Oops. Hey, you done yet? I don't have all night, you know. I thought you were supposed to be fast. I'm on it. Only one more section to type up. She rolls her eyes and disappears back in her office. Penny is the editor of the Styx Journal, and also a private investigator when night falls. She's relentless and brilliant, but she's hard to read. Her work partner, Annie Scott, is one of the many citizens of Styx who went missing recently, and I don't think Penny has slept since. And it looks like I'll be joining her, with the amount of work I've got on my plate. I didn't think that taking a job at a newspaper would end up with me elbow deep in murder cases and disappearances, but hey, wherever the tides take me, I guess. I press play on the tape recorder and get ready to type. But what did you see? You say you blacked out after she was taken. She must have caught a look at the guy's face. You must have caught a look at the guy's face. That's the thing, though. That wasn't no guy. Wasn't no human. Yeah, you said that already. But it isn't like we have much in the way of humans down here. So, help me out. Be more specific. It wasn't one of them, either. It was... I quickly stopped the tape and watched the water in my glass ripple, the whole room trembling. I gripped the edge of the desk to steady myself, but it stops after a few seconds. Still long enough to throw me off. Another quake. The second today. Is it me, or did that one feel more violent? I turn around and find Penny tugging on her coat, a cigarette hanging haphazardly between her lips. She's laden with case files, as usual, and I idly wonder if this woman ever quits. She doesn't seem too bothered by the fact that the ocean is shaking us like fish in a bowl. But then I guess that's exactly what we are. Should I be concerned? Nah, don't fret. She waves me off as she breezes over to my desk and yanks the paper free from the typewriter, squinting at it and sighing when she sees it isn't done, but she adds it to the messy pile she has hitched under her arm anyway. These things happen. It's just the nature of Styx, my friend, and you'll get used to it. Why did I move to Styx? I mean, I assume it has to do with my shady past. Go home and get some rest, all right? I need you bright and early tomorrow. I need you here bright and early tomorrow. Oh, and lock up for me, would you? She doesn't wait for me to respond, and the front door swiftly slams shut behind her. I rub my eyes and will the tiredness that blurs the edges of my vision to disappear. I just want to get through this damn interview so I can go home. Then it happens again. Shake, rattle, roll. Another quake. This time it's vicious. No gentle warning or soft rumble, just full bore. Lights swinging, shit falling to the floor and cracking against the linoleum, books falling from the shelves. My desk jumps across the room like it has a mind of its own. Fear consumes me, and I launch myself from my chair, stumbling toward the door and reaching for the handle like a lifeline. I tear it open, the walls screaming around me, the roar of what sounds like thunder rattling in my ears. So I've already seen all of that, so this is why I have not as many reactions. But I will say here that I really love how this atrium background looks because it reminds me of stained glass with the neon lights and the colors, and they kind of like give off like different opacity, like different transparencies with the lights and everything, and it's really pretty. But yes, I escape into the atrium and my eyes fall upon chaos. Hordes of people run from surrounding businesses, bars, and lounges. There's a stampede coursing across the main floor, and all I can think is that I can't believe I've only been here a few weeks, and here I am, watching it all fucking end. What timing? That's when the screaming begins. At first, I think the sound might be coming from me, but the chorus of wailing that fills my head can't possibly be human. It sounds like a wounded animal, a death knell. It chills me to my core and leaves the hairs on my arms and the back of my neck standing to attention, saluting whatever terrible thing is making that damn noise. I close my hands over my ears and try to shut it out, try to push forward and get the hell out of here. I look up as I run and notice that the glass that encases us is holding, so at least today might not be the day I die a watery death. But then, oh, I didn't realize this. This makes sense. I was like, how are people here? Like, how are people here? And it's literally encased in glass. The city's encased in glass. Okay, that makes sense. For some reason I thought this was like a case where like technology has evolved and or humans have evolved and they can also breathe underwater, and the Skia already had that ability, but that is not the case. A flash. What's happening now though? Oh, this is scary. Okay, I haven't gotten to this part, so who knows. A violent, blinding light, the edges of my vision blurring, shifting, and then everything goes quiet. Not a sound, not a whisper. I stand still and close my eyes tight enough that it hurts, pain blooming bright behind my eyelids. Next come the voices. Voices that aren't mine. Voices that echo and shift. A terrible cacophony of crying, wailing, laughing. Then my mind fills with the vision of a face. A face? Huh? A face? Oh. Hello. Blue hair. Not blue hair. Blue eyes. Hair as black as the night. He stares down at his hands, and every inch of them is painted a terrible and unmistakable crimson. Yeah. Literally has blood on his hands. They shake, his long fingers trembling, and he drops them to his side in what looks like defeat. Hello, are you looking at my character? Then he's looking right at me. How do you... what? He sees me. How? Huh? Also, gorgeous. Hello, who are you? I snap back into the waking world with a painful jolt, my temples throbbing, and then comes total silence. Maybe it's like some sort of vision connecting people from the Styx and the surface? I don't know where this man is. Or maybe across the Styx, so maybe this man is somewhere else in the Styx, rather. Clarity. The calm after a terrible storm. I look around and my vision is clear again. No blurring. No bloodied stranger staring directly into my soul. I take a deep breath and shake my head, blinking myself free of whatever that was, and I look down just to check that I'm still whole. Something catches my eye, a flash of red in the neon lights. I look down at my hands and find them covered in blood. What? What do you mean you're covered in blood? What the... That's when everything turns to black. Did you pass out? Awake early, and I don't remember how I got home, but I do know that my sleep was fitful and plagued with nightmares. Nightmares of bloodied palms, of unfamiliar faces, of the sounds of something dark and terrible calling out to me. So that's... What just happened? Okay, it's a new day. It's a wonderful day here in Styx. The streets are bustling and alive with citizens going about their day, even at this horrendously early hour. And yet everything, unsurprisingly, feels a little off. I still can't recall how I got home last night, but I do remember standing in this very spot and having what I can only assume was a total mental breakdown. I look down at my hands and find them clean, much to my relief. It's only the 20th time I've checked since I woke up, with the world's most horrific headache that just won't seem to quit, and a terrible feeling that there's something serious going on inside this brain of mine. This is truly a mystery. What happened? Steeling myself, I looked down at the address that I tore from the notice board outside the Vanguard Lounge yesterday morning after it caught my eye, which seems kind of like a sign right now, as if I anticipated something like this would happen without realizing it. Dr. Archimedes Shushida. Studio 11, Meadow Way, Asphodel. We maintain your discretion with utmost care for proportional payment. Okay, I kind of like that. That's kind of the view for something that we're looking at. He sounds legit, right? I don't know. After the night I had, I can't say I... Oh, I parsed that as I'm in, not I'm in. Okay. After the night I had, I can't say I'm in the position to be too picky with finding the right practitioner. Discretion is highly desired. I'm not about to draw too much attention to myself when I'm fresh off the submarine. Okay, so that answers one of my questions. You take a submarine to get to the Styx. I thought maybe there could be like teleportation tubes. Like tubes that connect you from the surface to the Styx. And so into the depths of Asphodel I go. Where are we now? Like, where's the workplace? It's not Asphodel. Oh, I like this office. So many fun trinkets. And now I have an unbearable headache. Oh, hello. Call me Archie nods, his eyes still firmly fixed upon the clipboard in his lap. Are you your Dr. Archimedes Shushida? Hello. I like your your best and the time. It's fun. He's writing, but I don't know whether he's writing something related to me or if he's just, I don't know, doodling flowers or whatever. I don't have the energy to care. My patience is wearing thin with every pulse of my heartbeat, which sends a throbbing lance of pain through my temples. Ooh, that sounds like a very bad migraine. It feels worse than if someone had decided to stuff cotton in my brain, like a sponge with a giant, merciless hand squeezing it over and over. But I paid to be here, and there's a shelf of interesting bottles filled with questionable things staring at me behind Dr. Shishida's beautiful office desk. I guess I had better behave long enough for him to give me something for this pain, and then I can be out of here. This is a nice office, too. He's already apologized profusely because his clinic downstairs is undergoing renovations, so he has to see me up here. But you won't find me complaining about sitting on fine leather. Same. And you hadn't been drinking. I didn't last night, no. Though I considered it this morning. If your office had been hard to find, I might have slipped into Leith's and taken my chances with a whiskey bottle instead. Okay, we're being honest, that's good. Why do you think I picked the spot for the clinic? Oh, you have jokes. I don't know how serious Archie's being. Okay. I snort reflexively, then squeeze my eyes shut while my head throbs again. This is getting annoying. Dr. Shishida gets out of his plush chair, and, as I hoped, he opens the cabinet full of mystery bottles, takes out a few, then rummages for something from another lower shelf. With a questionable smile, he hands me a shot glass full of something vicious. With a questionable smile, he hands me a shot glass full of some vicious-looking, luminous, green liquid. Okay. I mean, I don't care about a prettier glass. If I got a migraine, I got a migraine. I think I'm gonna go for this first choice. Hold on. Yes. How bad is this gonna hurt? I grimace at the offering. In my experience, the nasty stuff always works best, and this definitely fits the bill. But can I trust this guy? How bad is this gonna hurt? After the first 3 or so seconds, you'll see it's worth it. Well then. Cheers. I take a deep breath, brace myself, and then knock it back in one. Yes, you have to one-shot it. It's bitter. It doesn't burn, but I might have preferred that to the horrendous taste slithering down my throat. I slam the shot glass down onto the desk and gesturally desperate for something, anything else to drink. Archie thrusts a glass of water into my hands. Is he smirking? Am I about to die? The water thankfully washes the horrific aftertaste out of my mouth. See? 3 seconds, like I said. Felt much longer than that. My head is also still throbbing dully, now with the added effects of ringing ears and the extra misery of having ingested something nasty. Something that nasty. The bottle of whiskey I've been daydreaming about is feeling less like a treat and more like a necessity at this point. It was 3 seconds. Don't worry, I counted. He cheerfully takes the water from my hand and nudges me to relax in the, admittedly, very comfortable chair, his smile beatific and strangely reassuring. Now, since you took it orally, it's going to require a little while to fully take effect. Does that mean I get to fall asleep? Because I could do with the rest. No. Then why do you give your patients such an inviting chair? Usually I don't. That chair is for personal guests. I suppose getting my clinic wrecked by ungrateful bastards does benefit some. You're the 5th person to comment about that chair. I want this chair. Where can I get this chair? Am I the 6th person to comment about the chair? I want the chair now. You get that many patients. He sighs deeply. Probably too many. Others are also happy just to pay me and talk my ears off. Then I'd say you're doing a nice job stealing the bartender's business from down the street. Don't tell him that, or I've no doubt my tab will find itself inflating mysteriously. Okay, so you can enjoy drinks also. That's fun. Oh, and since you're here, Archie ducks behind his desk, emerging a moment later with what looks like a stack of tapes. Suddenly, I have a feeling. You are the Marie Angel, correct? Penny's new, recruit? Does Miss Sinclair know everybody in this city? If she does, I wouldn't be surprised. But she did tell me specifically that our new hire is going to be helping her transcribe some important tapes I promised her. I would have stopped by to deliver them myself this morning, but here I am held up with a patient complaining of a headache. How timely. Talk about lucking out, huh? I hold out my hand for the tapes, but Archie tuts and shakes his head. He opens a different cabinet in the room and pulls out a roll of twine, and then starts sorting through the tapes and tying them together. Were they all just in a pile in your drawer until this morning? Or did you just forget to finish this final step? That terrible headache of yours must have gone away by now with all of that sass out of your mouth. Yes. It's then that I realize that it has, actually. Not completely, but the discomfort is so minimal that I don't notice much of anything else aside from the fact that my head feels weirdly heavy. Like it's full of secrets, or something. Dr. Shishida. Archie, do you know anything about the murders and the disappearances? Archie says nothing. He finishes tying up the tapes in neat piles before dropping them into a brown paper bag. He hands it to me. No, I don't. It bothers me a great deal. Now, go home. Rest up. I smile wryly. Not likely after you've dropped all this work into my lap. Just tell Penny it's doctor's orders that you get some rest. She can take up with me if she feels like it. It's been a long while since I've seen her anyway. I like your character design. Look at the little like whoosh of gray in the hair. It's fun. Right. Thanks. See you around, I guess. Not if you're lucky. I have a weird feeling in my gut that I won't be lucky. That I'll be seeing more of Dr. Shishida. How old are we? Like, I mean, we must be somewhat of a adult. Oh, who knows though? Excuse me. Before I head back to the office, I get a weird desire to check out the strange little shop that's caught my eye more than a few times since I landed here. Which one? Nestled between Taish's Luck Casino and a beauty salon sits the Killing Moon. Oh yeah, the one on the right. Looks nice. Its colorful window full of charms, oddities, and multiple posters insisting that the incredible Eve can tell me my fortune and what I ate for breakfast. That's a fun shop. I wonder if this Eve could offer me a little insight into what the hell's going on in my head. I lean and take a closer look at one of the posters. Past, present, future. The ultimate master of divination with a direct link to the spiritual plane and supernatural regions beyond. That's a fun poster. And also, I believe, one of the love interests. This is Eve. I saw them on the, what do you call this? The title screen. Apparently, I'm recovering from a headache. My brain is a little slow today. Interesting. Well, I guess it can't hurt to try, right? Into the unknown. Okay. Oh, I like the... Ooh. This shop is also pretty. I really like all the backgrounds so far. The bell above the door jingles quietly as I step inside, and I'm immediately hit with the overpowering smell of incense and a maelstrom of scented candles. Strange music plays on the record player that sits in the corner. The shop appears to be totally vacant. I peruse the shelves and run a finger over the jagged point of a crystal, leaning in to stare at the whirls of different purples.
You're curious, aren't you? A more precious bauble than any in the shop. And look, the tides have washed you right in.
Oh my gosh, I love your dress. The necklaces are fun. I turn quickly and watch as a fiery haired wisp of a human in a lace gown the same color as their pale skin approaches. From where, I'm not entirely sure.
Amethyst. Excellent for migraines and nausea.
Oh, is that true? I might have to go and buy amethyst for real. I suffer a lot from migraines. Actually, I need to look into that. They reach for the crystal and cradle it in their palms, closing their eyes, their copper lashes fluttering. It almost looks like they're whispering to it.
Right. Hey.
Oh, hey, Eve, you okay there? Another customer approaches, their golden eyes flicking between this Eve and myself curiously. They offer me a lopsided smile, one that looks almost apologetic. Oh my gosh, I also love your outfit. It's not like it looks, to me it looks like a sweater vest, but it's not. It's like probably just a regular vest with some texture in it. Both your hair, it's like hairstyles are so long. It's great, it's gorgeous. Eve exhales sharply and opens her eyes.
Oh, Adrian.
They turn to me and eagerly press the crystal into my hands.
Forgive me, sometimes I get a little carried away.
The other customer laughs awkwardly, still apparently trying to break the weird tension that seems to be sucking the life out of the room. Eve sets their sights on them.
One moment.
Eve scans the shelves, their hands in the air as if asking for silence, and they laugh wickedly when they apparently spot what they were searching for. What were you looking for? Oh, this is a fun little CG. Oh, this is fun. Cute. They're both adorbs. They shove a crystal at the other customer's chest. This one is lavender and gold.
Ametrine for clarity. Good for scaring away procrastination, and they sniff the air. Other unsavory things.
What does that mean? The golden-eyed stranger's cheeks flare pink. The blushy. They laugh nervously, looking anywhere other than at myself or Eve. They reach into their bag and retrieve a wad of money to wave at Eve, apparently eager to give it to the over-curious shopkeep to shut them up. I think I might do the same. As Eve quickly disappears behind the cash desk, the stranger turns to me and scrambles to hold the ridiculously oversized crystal in one hand, offering me the other. Oh, hello, how lovely. I'm Adrian. Sorry about that. Well, them. They're sweet, just a little intense, you know. Yeah, I got that. So, are you new around here? That obvious? Adrian shrugs sheeplessly. Anyway, here lies your first lesson. Eve will sell you a crystal that costs a week's rent, and all it'll do is give you hives. You can't trust a soul around here, especially not when they smile at you. What a sense of humor. I love their humor. Wow, you gave them a good humor. Game developers, writers. Then, completely lacking any irony, Adrian offers me a huge, sharp-toothed grin. Fun. Before I can reply, Eve loudly clears their throat, their eyes widening when we both turn to stare at them. Adrian sighs and glances down at the crystal Eve deposited in their palm. Clarity, you said. Eve nods enthusiastically, their skinny fingers clasped as if they're about to drop to their knees and pray.
I have a strange sense that you might need some, yes?
Adrian exhales, glancing out into the atrium almost wistfully. They smile as they deposit their money upon the counter, but that smile doesn't reach their eyes. I think you might be right. Yeah.
Eve looks at me expectantly. And you?
Honestly, I mean, no. I mean, we got our stuff. I would come back for the crystal. I don't know. I'm gonna not buy the crystal. One, because Dr. Shushida has already cured the migraine. But if there's a chance to get the crystal again for whatever reason, then I probably would. I don't know how often these migraines are happening for the main character either. So I'm gonna say don't buy the crystal. Also, maybe that will look like the main character is heeding Adrian's advice / warning. I offer them a sorry smile, as genuine as I can muster. I'm really tight for cash right now. Just got to the city and all. But thank you. Maybe some other time? Eve shakes their head and refuses to accept the crystal when I try to give it back to them. Ah, I insist you take it as a welcome gift, new friend. I really don't. I insist. Something about the way they smile at me tells me I won't win this one. Well, thank you, Eve. I'm sure it'll brighten up your place, right? I nod and smile again, and Adrian is clearly just playing along, as regretful of their new unwanted item as I am, it would appear. Oh, we didn't catch your name. It's Marie. Eve shakes the hand I offered them with both of theirs, smiling sweetly, until they're not. They pull away quickly, almost as if I shocked them, their skin turning a shade paler. They glance at Adrian for a split second before they compose themselves and offer an obviously forced smile. It shakes at the edges. Right. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Marie. What happened? Something tells me it wasn't. Now please excuse me. I have a reading in a moment, so I need to go prepare. The spirits won't talk to themselves. They wave once, and then they're gone. The curtain that separates the shop from the back room swishing violently. Huh. That was weird. I raise a brow at them. Weird. Weirder than usual. Glad I'm not the only one who noticed. I better dash too. Nothing personal, I just have to get to work. It was a pleasure meeting you, Marie. Really. And if you're ever in my neck of the water, then stop at my studio sometime. I'm always looking for faces to paint. You're a painter? That's so fun. Their cheeks flush as they hand me a small business card. That's so cute. I love the blushing. Adrian Navarre. Portraits, fine art, advertisements. Elysian Fields. Studio 12. My goodness, this is making me want to have a business card. I need a business card now so that when I meet people, I'll be like, yes, stop by my business. Why not? I like this aspect of the game. An artist, huh? You flatter me. Adrian shrugs and tucks a strand of their long hair behind their ear, heading for the door. Always nice to make new friends, right? Styx is a big place distinctly lacking honest folks, and something about you tells me you're one of the good ones. So, stop by sometime. With that cute smile. Wow, kudos to the artists, everyone who made the character design for Adrian. Too adorable. I love it. And I love them already. Oh my gosh. See you around. Very friendly. That's nice. I wave and watch them go, standing in the middle of the killing moon, feeling heavier than I did before I entered, crystal notwithstanding. When I walk into the office, I find Penny sitting at my desk. She glares at me over the top of the typewriter, her eyes glued to me as I make my way over to the desk and deposit the bag of Archie's tapes in front of her. This better be good, considering you've been gone for almost half of your shift. I can't promise I'll be good. It'll be good. But they're from Dr. Shushida. He said he was planning on dropping them by. Penny's blue eyes light up, and she eagerly dips a hand inside the bag, counting the contents with a growing smile. That son of a bitch. I knew he'd come through. Yay, that's good. While she's occupied with whatever juicy content Archie has supposedly provided us, I notice a new missing person poster has been added to the case board. My heart sinks when I look at the grainy picture. That face. Missing. We are seeking information regarding the disappearance of this individual, last seen in the asphodel area of the city. An extensive investigation is being conducted to locate him. Castor Egan. Male, Athens, Greece. October 23, 1930, 6'2", black hair, blue eyes. Okay, so this is obviously missing persons. Poster. I wonder if the people who will see missing posters for are people who back the game and were given the choice to be a missing person. If so, congrats. This is fun. That's very creative also. I reach out unconsciously, almost as if compelled, and I feel sickness coiling in my gut. Like I know this man, like he means something. But I've never seen him before, of that much, I'm sure. Not in a way that would make me feel this way, anyway. Oh yeah, I need to brief you on this one. Penny's voice snaps me from my daze, and she flicks the poster, leaning against the board with a resigned sigh. His name is Ian Castor. His brother came to my apartment after the quake in a mad panic. Apparently, he disappeared last night under suspicious circumstances. But that's all I managed to get out of the crazy bastard, before he ran off. Men. Oh, Penny. I stare at her, not quite able to bring myself to respond, the face on the poster still drawing me in, urging me to look. Penny tilts her head curiously and frowns at me. Earth Marie, you're right there, champ. You look a little peaky. I nod vacantly, plastering a smile across my lips. I just had a bad night. No sleep. Headache. Must have been the quake. Huh. Yeah. You're still adjusting, I suppose. Anyway, let me tell you about this Castor guy. Get your typing fingers ready. It's a long story. I dutifully take my seat at my desk, slipping a fresh piece of paper between the rollers. For the next 2 hours, Penny recounts the tale of Blue and Egan Castor, and why the latter going missing holds some degree of significance in the long and winding web that Styx seems to be weaving around us. Blue? Like a name that I use sometimes. I'm gonna need a drink. Ooh, the Vanguard looks so pretty. I would want to go there. It didn't take much for Penny to persuade me to join her in her nightly journey to the Vanguard, her arms once again laden with case files and paperwork. The woman never quits. Although I find myself with a pile of my own tonight, both of us sit at the bar, paper strewn out in front of us, while the cute blonde bartender keeps our glasses full. The lounge is packed, the air thick with a layer of smoke, like it has its very own atmosphere. I still don't know if I believe that he's missing. If you meet his brother, you'll understand why. I'd want to get the hell away from him, too. But you said they seemed close, so why would he just disappear with no good reason? Penny shrugs and stubs her cigarette out in the ashtray before her, quickly lighting another. I guess that's for you to find out, huh? She smiles and exhales, the smoke hitting my face. Right. I'm going on an investigation. Ooh. A singer. Then the lights dim. A single spotlight illuminates the stage at the far end of the lounge, a figure appearing in its bright, unforgiving beam. The music swells, a cool, lazy rhythm, something that lure you to sleep if you weren't hopped up on the thrill of simply being here. Even under the thrum of the bass, I hear Penny's breath hitch. Heck, mine does too. Because the silhouette is a damn fine one. All dangerous curves and a walk that tells you that whoever it is knows their appeal and how to work it. Ooh, another love interest. With the spotlight. I lean in to whisper in Penny's ear, my eyes still on the stage. Who is that? She swats me away without so much as offering me a glance, totally fixated. Shh, no talking. And then the songbird begins to sing. Red lips, tight curls, eyes as gold as the sun. And that voice, like honey, dripping and smooth. She's compelling enough to make me believe she's singing about me, for me, and only me. With the way everyone else in the room is staring at her, I gather they feel the same. Nice, nice. Always love a good singer, always love good music. To say I'm transfixed would be an understatement. Though something swiftly pulls me from my daze. A terrible chill rolls down my spine, a full body shudder that has goose flesh prickling upon my skin. I feel the same way I did last night, like I'm about to get lost in a dream. Vision? Whatever the fuck that was. Then, I see him. You see who? The man from before? Him. The mystery man. Bringer of the world's biggest pain in the ass of a migraine. He stands at the opposite end of the bar, all tall and looming. Maybe he's a witch? Something haunting and dark? A creature like the ones they say wanders Styx at night if you get close, too close, to the shadows. The bluest eyes I've ever seen focus in on me, like he's heard everything I'm thinking. He scowls at me from behind a curtain of ink-black hair. I can hear my own heartbeat rushing in my ears, the music and the songbird's voice, a mere echo. So the vision guy is back? And actually in front of the main character? Like I'm underwater, but in a more literal sense. The shadow man narrows his eyes, and I decide there's definitely something other about him. Something both missing and too much to fathom. He averts his gaze quickly, like he's been shocked out of our little staring contest. The room seems to shudder, my ears popping. And then, everything is back to normal. Only then do I register Penny snapping her fingers in front of my face. And if looks could kill... Sorry, boss. Hey, you drunk already or something? I shake my head because my tongue feels too heavy for me to form words. Penny simply sighs, resigning herself to the fact that I'm terrible company, I assume. I would feel bad if it wasn't for the existential crisis I seem to be having. Penny suddenly stiffens behind me, beside me, her back going ramrod straight, and her unlit cigarette almost falling from between her lips. She scrambles to catch it, and I hear a husky laugh right behind me. Penny looks up, her eyes wide and her cheeks beet red. Fuck. It's a singer. I knew it. I turn to find the culprit, the one who apparently has the ability to render my usually unshakable boss useless. And there stands the songbird, even more beautiful up close. Penelope, I see you brought the office here with you, as always. Should you really be drinking on the job? Penny merely scowls and angrily fumbles for her lighter, refraining from responding. The songbird simply sighs, shrugging at me with pursed lips, like she's used to this kind of reception. And who is this? Another of Miss Sinclair's victims. Her perfect red lips curl up at the corners as she offers me a hand. Penny swears quietly under her breath and finally gets a flame out of the lighter, her relief apparent. Not a victim. I'm an employee. Marie Angel, I'm not a victim. Just an employee. The songbird laughs heartily and takes my hand, shaking it firmly. There's a difference. There's a difference. I'm Kaylee Seymour. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Marie. Nice to meet you. Likewise. I actually need to steal your bus, Marie. I hope you don't mind, but it's a private matter. Okay. How private are we talking? You said that last time and talked my ear off about your bass player cheating on his wife for an hour. Time is money, Calliope. Don't give me that shit, Penelope. I have solid information. Is that intriguing enough to make me taking up your oh-so-precious time worthwhile? Penny clears her throat and begins to gather up the papers she's strewn across the countertop earlier, stuffing them back in their files, and then under her arm. She stands, throwing me an apologetic glance. Call it a night. I need you early tomorrow to make up for the time we lost today. All right? Sure thing, boss. She actually smiles at that. I feel like I got awarded a gold star, an A for effort. But then she inhales sharply and squares her shoulders, her gaze meeting Callie's, as she pushes past me. Bye. 30 minutes max. I need an early night, too. Huh, that's rich. And then Penny is off, pushing the crowd and heading who knows where. Callie huffs and begins to follow her on towering red heels, but she stops, spins, and offers me a polite wave and a wink. Bye. It was nice to meet you. Before I get the chance to respond, they're both gone, engulfed by the sea of swaying people. The swee of people. It's then that I feel that shift again. Eyes on me, staring, burning into the back of my head. I turn slowly, an attempt at being subtle, I suppose, but something tells me the shadow man is expecting my attention. Sure enough, he's looking right at me when I find him at the opposite end of the bar. He still has his coat on, and clutches an almost empty drink like a lifeline. I slid into the empty seat beside him, and my temples ache, but I put it down to a long day, and the fact that the atmosphere in here is at least 80% cigarette smoke. Hello. Hello, vision guy. With your beautiful long hair, black hair, and eyes, blue eyes. I love the character design so much. You know, I'm having kind of a bad day. He laughs bitterly and lifts his tumbler, squinting as he glares through the amber liquid. Well, weak. What is with the smile, sir? He slams it back, finishing the drink in one. He places the glass on the bar with a loud slam, his knuckles bleeding white as he grips it like he means to break it. So, tell me, what exactly do you want? I keep catching you staring, and I'm not looking for any company tonight, if that's what you seek. It isn't every day you see a guy in a painful, seemingly prophetic vision, and then suddenly he's real and sitting in front of you. Shame. He seems like kind of an asshole. I agree. I clear my throat, and the weight of his glare is enough to make my skin crawl. I saw you yesterday. He raises a brow at me, and then laughs, a dark chuckle. I don't think you did. I was a little preoccupied. His words drip with disdain, and the bartender walks over to us, bottle in hand. He refills Shadow Man's tumbler with a healthy dose of whiskey, without question. So, where exactly was this apparent sighting? I grimace. Well, it's complicated? He's frowning now, his expression cold enough to chill me to the bone. That's when I know it has to be him. It's those eyes. It's like there's nothing behind them. I lean in and drop my voice. The quake. While it was happening, I had a vision. You would just admit that to a stranger? Is that normal? Like to have visions? Or something. He sits a little straighter and clears his throat, his head flipping around to see if anyone's watching us, I assume. Then he's leaning in and staring me down, his voice pitched low. I feel like he's trying to find a weak spot, a kink in my non-existent armor. I have a twin, you know. It could have been him, but I guess it depends on what you saw. He raises his brows, and I can't tell if he's playing around or if he's threatening me. The fact he seems unperturbed that I just told him I had a magical vision is less than comforting. The Castor twins. You're one of them, the not missing one. My name is Blue. Oh my god, you're Blue. Hi, Blue. I'm sometimes also Blue, but not in this game. Right now, at least. My name is Blue. And yeah, I'm not the missing one. Very observant of you. You were covered in blood? Oh. Oh. Blood. You were covered in blood when I saw you. As if his pace wasn't pale enough already, his skin drops a few shades, but quicker than he blanches, he finds his composure and has the gall to laugh in my face. Did Sinclair put you up to this? No. Penny? No. I haven't told her a thing. Blue surveys me again. A little harder this time, his gaze cutting deep. What else did you see? I shake my head and Blue scoffs, rolling his bright eyes. Brilliant. Just fan-fucking-tastic. This is all I need, as if I don't have enough on my plate. As if I don't have enough on my plate, you give me this, too? I stare at him and try to figure out exactly who he's talking to. It certainly isn't me, and it certainly isn't anyone else I can see. That thought has the hairs on the back of my neck rising. Do you want to tell me what's going on here? You're apparently not shocked at all about what I thought was a pretty outlandish claim, and I'm feeling pretty damn lost. Blue downs his drink in one, grimacing as he swallows it. He hisses through clenched teeth and stands up, quick and dramatic enough that he startles me, and everyone in our vicinity. Then he's reaching into his coat, fumbling for something. He pulls out a crumpled piece of paper and pen, leaning on the bar as he scribbles something down. His fingers are stained with ink. If I stare long enough, will the black turn to red? He shoves the paper into my hands. It has an address on it, in Greek and English. Okay. Paraklisi Tonskion. Church of Shadows, Asphodel Meadows. Find me here tomorrow night, and don't tell anyone, especially not Sinclair. Got it? Should I trust this man? Like, I know I think he's gorgeous, but I'm scared to trust this man. How do I know I can trust you? Exactly, good. You're asking the right questions. I think about what Adrian said, about not trusting anyone here, especially if they smile at you. Should I also trust Adrian? I don't know. Blue scoffs and sticks his hand in his pockets, his shoulders hunched like he's trying to make himself look smaller. An impossible feat for a guy as tall as him. And, well, he certainly isn't smiling. I can't decide if that's a good or bad sign. Everything else about the situation points to the latter. The last thing you have to worry about is trust right now. He pauses and tilts his head, his bright eyes dragging over me. I didn't catch your name, did I? It's Marie. He narrows his eyes again, and I consider buying the city out of all its crosses, holy water, too. Tomorrow night. Be there when the lights dim. I stuff the paper into my pocket. And you'll tell me what's going on? I lean in a little closer, my voice as low as it can go with all of this noise. You'll tell me what's happening to me? Oh, they'll tell you. Hey. Blue laughs. It doesn't rain here in paradise. It only pours. Welcome to Styx. The bastard has the gall to offer me a dangerous, wicked smile. Smirk, rather. Sweet dreams. Okay, bye. And then he's gone. And with him goes my headache. It's like a weight has been lifted, the pressure turned off. Welcome to Styx, indeed. Darkness was once a strange comfort to me. I would always eagerly welcome it, knowing that when the night came, I could finally rest and find reprieve from whatever had burdened me throughout the day. In Styx, the darkness is something else entirely. It's infinite and all-consuming, and it's inescapable if you don't know which corners to hide in. There is no trace of light here, not the kind I'm used to. I lie in my bed, the shapes of my apartment still foreign to me. Everything feeling temporary despite that this is home now. Trying to establish that this is my permanent residence has been hard. I think the fish out of water idiom has never made more sense to me, apart from the fact it's actually human in water in my situation. The mattress is too new and doesn't yet fit the shape of my body, and the sheets are still crinkled where I yanked them straight out of their packaging. And then there's my luggage, staring at me from the corner of the room, still untouched. I need to get my shit together. The crumpled piece of paper Blue Castor gave me taunts me from where I left it on my nightstand. Church of Shadows, it reads, the words hastily scribbled, yet somehow charming, unlike the man who wrote them. Church of Shadows. Definitely not ominous or foreboding at all. All I've ever known of the shadows is from the stories my parents would read to me. Faceless monsters lurking underneath our beds, and in the deepest part of the ocean to keep us in line. Something to stop us from straying from the light, to make sure our paths were clear and free from darkness. Funny how that doesn't always seem to work out. I try to let myself slip out of the waking world and into dreams. The process arduous after what I experienced with the vision. My fingers curl in the stiff sheets, the still unfamiliar reflections of the ocean, shifting and casting everything in gentle blue hues. Exhaustion eventually takes hold, and I sink deeper into wherever we go when we dream, if dreaming is what this is. I step into the darkness that stretches before me, my footsteps echoing loudly against solid concrete. It's a state of lucidity, an uncomfortable kind of awareness. The room that surrounds me isn't yet visible, but it's clearly vast in size, and a distinctly musky smell of rot and dirt fills my nostrils. It reminds me of the churches I used to get dragged to when I was a kid, a strange familiarity in the stench. Oh, the church is pretty. Oh, this is the stained glass here. I like the stained glass pieces up here. I squint and can finally see a decrepit church waiting for me. Its guts made of cracked pews and broken stained glass. Is it broken? It doesn't look quite broken, but the glimmer of ocean shadows against the sickly gray tiles tells me I'm still in Styx, even in dreams. I gather the courage to walk down the narrow aisle, staring up at the man that leans against the balcony. His raven hair hangs loose in loose curls, brushing the top of a crisp white shirt collar. Well, is it blue or what's the other? Eston? I hold my breath as he smirks, daring to acknowledge he could very well be a real man, and not some fractured night terror that has come to haunt me. Are you blue? Again. Blue Castor. He sighs heavily, Cheshire grin still fixed in place. The arm he has lazily slung over the edge of the balcony twitches. His fingers briefly curl into a fist before he relaxes them again. I step closer, my neck aching with the effort it takes to keep my gaze upon him. It feels like all the air is getting sucked out of the atmosphere around me, like someone turned on a furnace. Everything getting unbearably hot. I watch as he lifts his hand, twists his wrist, presses his middle finger and thumb together, and snaps. The sound echoes unnaturally. Oh, there's fire. I briefly see the familiar flicker of fire igniting and licking across his pale skin, curling around his bony fingertips as though he's commanding the flames. It dies out, and Blue begins to laugh. It isn't a nice sound. It's something twisted and wicked. I watch his broad shoulders shake, his curls swaying as he gets louder and louder. And then I'm snatched back into the waking world, like a rag doll, jolting uptight in my bed, the terrible sound of his laughter ringing in my ears. That's ominous and foreboding. Is that like something that might happen if we go to the church later on? Fuck. I inhale deeply, trying to steady my heart rate, where it beats inconsistently in my rib cage. I fall back against the pillow, swallowing curses and the urge to drag myself out of bed and across the city. I eventually fall asleep when the speakers that line the streets cheerfully announce that morning is due within the hour. I think about the way the sun used to look as it rose back on the surface. I unlock the office and find the lights still on, and that distinct stench of cigarette smoke and reheated food in the air. There's music playing in Penny's office, and I can only assume she stayed here overnight. She's never been one for early mornings. Already semi-familiar with my routine, I sort through the posts left in a pile on the doormat before brewing some coffee, the taste of it burnt and still too hot when I eagerly knock it back in an effort to wake myself up. Boss, are you in there? I hear her grunt and I shoulder the door open, a glass of water and 2 aspirins in one hand and coffee in the other. While the customer-facing part of Scott and Sinclair investigations is often left in disarray, Penny's office is surprisingly neat, if you can call being void of any real character neat, I suppose. She appears to prefer keeping it void of any real personality, no pictures on the walls, not even a diploma, to prove her more than adequate qualifications. Oh, a different coat, Penny. Penny barely glances at me. Over the top of a file she's apparently trying to burn a hole into with her gaze. It's like at least 11 o'clock. I come bearing gifts. She snorts when I place a glass, tablets, and mug in front of her. Well, aren't you a star? Thanks, I appreciate it. Did you work all night? She throws the case file onto her desk and takes the tablets, her brow arched as she chases them down with water. Is the ocean wet? I smile. I take a seat opposite her and pull out my notebook and pen, ready to take notes on whatever the hell she needs me to do today. The sliver of crumpled paper Blue gave me feels heavy in my pocket, and I question why I decided to carry it with me all day. Carry it with me all day like a curse. I try not to think about it. I need to go, so I'm gonna save it here with this choice. But yeah, hope everyone is liking Call Me Under so far. I did a bit of a longer video this time around because I was really into it, and I'm really excited to see how the story will progress and how this will end. I'm assuming that this is still a demo. I need to check that though. But again, it'll be titled in the title if it is a demo or not. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you're enjoying the story so far and which of the characters intrigue you the most. I will be back soon with another part. Bye!